Hey everyone, this is Phreak with an audio commentary, of course, for WCR, and this is a game that I thought really exhibited, well, how to play a matchup that really I wasn't very good at, and I'm really not very good at it, but for at least once I outplayed my opponent, and I thought it was a good example of sort of how you can really screw with your opponent, and really just kind of, I was proud of what I did this game a little bit, and anyway, it's just, I think it's a good example of not a first human, and it's just kind of nice. So, the map is Lost Temple, and this is the most human-sided map that there is, and I guess human really needs it, because they are pretty much underpowered. They have been for the last few patches, and I'm not really sure how you can, like, buff them, because they're close to balanced, you know, because, like, a better player will win most of the time. But, you know, I'm not sure what exactly you could do to make it more fair, like something to footies or something, I don't know. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to talk about balance changes, because that's kind of a waste of your time. Now, if you're loading the replay right now, which maybe you are, whatever, or maybe you are going to, when you're playing ladder, and this applies to every single game type, whichever name is on top has the higher ELO. And now, most people I know don't know this. I actually kind of figured this out myself when I was watching a Inferno Rice free-for-all replay, and he was player 2, and so he private messaged player 1, and he was like, dude, like, how do you have a higher ELO than me? Like, holy crap. And so, you know, that was in the back of my head, and then eventually playing some solos, I was like, you know, maybe this probably applies to solos. And it pretty much does, it actually does, because it fits. If you're, you know, level 20 whatever with a 50% record, and there's a, you know, 20 and 0 Smurf level 10, his name's going to be on top. And so it's also a sort of a good indication of, was Blizzard, you know, well, it's like, who's expected to win, really? And you shouldn't just say, oh, well, I'm instant win because my name's on top, because there's always a chance of you know, losing, but that's just something that's just in there for you. Whoever's the highest, whatever the higher name is, that's the higher ELO. It's the person expected to win. So there you go. So I'm going to stop wasting all your time and get this replay unpaused. This is not a first human from Noob Elf TZ's point of view. Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alright, so check it out. I'm doing the standard Altar and Moonwell build, as anyone will do, because it's Altar Moonwell. There's no other build you can do on Lost Temple, or any other non-tap map for that matter. Yes, you can do the, quote, Mr. Cygnus strat, but honestly, it sucks. Like, you will get owned if your opponent has some micro. Like, you can be selective in what replays you put out and say, oh, this is the best strat ever, but that's just because one time out of 20 you managed to win. That's one of the things I think are kind of lame about putting out these sort of retarded strats and doing an audio on them and saying this is cool. Yes, I am playing my own TC Alchemist audio, because I honestly think that's not as good as FS and SH, but just, you know, putting it out there. Okay, now, to talk about the things that are going on at this time. Now, notice this is Agent of War. Now, pretty much everyone knows about this already, but the placement is something. What you want to do is you want to place the Agent of War, you know, so that it's in full green, and then move it one spot forward, like one spot closer to the creeps, except at this 3 o'clock position. This one you can move 2 squares up. Now at 12 it's a little bit different, because there's actually like two outcroppings kind of, so that it's actually gonna, like, there's gonna be 2 red squares if you put the Agent of War up. So you move it forward, so you essentially put it where there's 2 red squares, move it forward 2, and then downwards so that it's in the green, and that's where you put it down. I know that's a little confusing, but if you've done it you should know what I'm talking about. Now also, one thing with these scout wisps, like, you scout to see where your opponent is, and for instance, if he was at 6, I wouldn't fast expand, or I would creep it out but not put down a Tree of Life. But notice what I'm doing with the scout wisps, I'm putting them in a place where I have vision of more of the area. Like, while I can't really see if my opponent's going to come around through the 6 o'clock position, like the lower ground, I can at least at the 12 o'clock spot. Like, you want to put, after you scout out, if that's not where the base is, you want to put it somewhere where you can see if they're coming after your expo. So probably a bad one for the 6 o'clock wisp. I could have put it on the tree down there, downhill over there. I wasn't really thinking, but you know, it's just something. Now, one thing I'm not sure how to do perfectly is this tree creeping. I'm not sure the best order to do it, but you want to get rid of the Shadow Priest as fast as you can, and Shadow Strike really is the way to do it. Your mana's going to regenerate as it is. Just go ahead and do that. And also, you need to repair your Ancient of War, because generally, you might get unlucky. You don't want to lose AOW. You're better off just wasting a little bit of money repairing it. Also, you want to make sure you don't freaking steal the kill, because that gets really annoying. So, make sure you click it, and realize that it does 50 average damage, you know? Once it gets to about 60 HP, okay, hit it once, but then make sure you're not hitting it again. Then make sure you're not getting distracted. And now I see that I got this replenishment potion, and that I've already spent a lot of mana, so I'm going to just root my AOW, and let my Warden take it so that this potion is actually useful to me. Because, like, you know, I might as well save HP on the AOW, you never know when it's actually going to matter. And so, you know, I'm just maximizing my benefits and everything. And now I'm going to take a Scout Wisp at 12, and I'm like, well, I know he's at 9, and so I'm going to see how his expansion's doing, how well defended it is, and if I can go attack it. And right here I'm thinking, you know what? It's nightfall, sweet, boots, and a staff. And I use my potion, as you can see. And yeah, I'm going to get a little bit of overlap on the HP, but ultimately I want full mana to harass the Expo. Now, also, one thing to do as a human player when you're expanding, put down an Arcane and a Guard Tower, not just Guard Towers, because Hero Harass is one of the things that happens most in this matchup. And really in any human on Lost Temple thing, because everyone knows that they're going to expand and they're going to have some towers, but, you know, Heroes are the most durable. So I make sure that he's actually going to be over here, and I'm also a little afraid that he might attack my Expo and I'm going to have to burn a TP to save it, but I'm like, you know what? Whatever, dude. Now I FOK as soon as I can, because, hey, mana's going to regenerate as it is. I should trick the guy and know that he's going to die over time damage, so I'm not even worried about, you know, hitting him again, because I know he'll die. So it's the same thing with this guy. I just go right away to the Guard Tower, because I know he's going to eat it. Yes, I could have made him, you know, lose some more HP on the, or made him, you know, not have his Guard Tower up as quickly, but honestly it's not as big of a deal as getting rid of this Guard Tower right here and maximizing, you know, the benefit I can get from this. So I'm gonna focus on the next guy, get the kill here, and I'm like, darn it, my AP is getting focused, fine, I'll cancel. So I cancel that, and I'm just gonna run it uphill a little bit, make sure it doesn't get killed. So you notice I've gotten 4 peasant kills right now, and his Expo isn't going up at all, you know, it's 3/4 up, but mine's already in there. I'm halfway entangled on my gold mine. Right, so this is one of the cool things you can do with the Warden that you can't do with the DH so much, is you can nuke the crap out of these units. Now, I tried to put the AP down just to do some more harassing, but I realized, no, he's actually going to rally peasants down that ramp, so he's going to see it, so I cancel right away. And I'm just kind of hiding my Wisp somewhere. And ultimately I'm like, okay, well, now my Warden, you know, has her HP back, and I've got some hunts at home. Like, I realized, hey, there's this peasant over here saying that I've expanded, so I'm gonna continue making making huntresses. I'm gonna meet up with my Warden and go after his Expo again, because I'm like, dude, I can do a lot of damage here. So I tried to block with the Wisp. It didn't work so well because it got caught in a tree, like in a little cove right there. But it would have been kind of gosu, like just randomly blocking. That's also something you can do for fun. Like, I was playing a custom game against a friend. There's nothing happening right now, so I'm allowed to go do this. Playing a custom game against a friend, and I Scout Wisp spot an empty main right as his Scout Peon came over there. I had run Ventrilo, so I'm like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna Wisp block your Peon, so I start like blocking his Peon with the Wisp for no reason, just so he can't get home as fast. It's just fun things you can do. Anyway, I put all persistent items towards the bottom slots because I know that I'm not gonna need them for a little while. Or I'm saving the upper slots for useful items, like items that I have to actually use and click. Sorry, that's there we go, using the right phrase. So I've now killed 5 workers, which is pretty cool. I've got my Expo up, as you can see, and I have started teching. And you want to tech as soon as you can, because as soon as they start getting rifles out, you are going to start losing. I'll guarantee you that. But I'm like, sweet, here's a rifleman, and so I'm Shadow Strike and Focus Fire. And yes, hunts can take damage pretty quickly from this combined army. As you can see, I'm running my guy back already. And I run him back in, see if he's going to switch focus, but he didn't, so I'm just going to run that hunt away for now. So you can see I just get rid of this rifleman right here. And he actually can't, he actually stole EXP, which is pretty nice on his part. You can see he's focusing my Warden down a lot, so I've got to get out of here. I realize I'm getting really low, so I've got to run away from this Archmage. Luckily I've got boots, which is the only reason I even live. But you really have to be careful of that. But I see he's got this, you know, this injured rifle. You can see I use staff to get out of there, just so I can heal up quicker. Use some wells. You can see I'm going to kill out a rifle, and then I'm going to run around and, you know, save my hunt. So you can see I've got a lot of money. I'm really just saving it for tier 2 and 3, so I can tech and put down a bunch of lures. As you can see, I've got this Ancient of War up there inside his base. I'm going to start making hunts from it because I want to hit him again. I want to attack him again. And there we go, I've lost 2 hunts to creeps in the middle because I'm retarded and forgot about them. That's something you need to really watch out for if you're on Lost Temple. is, you know, when you send them to the fountain, keep checking back on them because they will get owned really quickly if you're not careful. So why did I use a Clarity and Wells? Because I've got plenty of Wells, and I want to save time, and I have no way of regenerating HP anyway. And I don't want to, like, wait for a full minute until my Clarity's done and then go hit some Wells. I'm like, look, you know, they're not gonna, you know, Nightfall's gonna come again later. I have a Moonstone. I really just want to maximize time. And you can see, you know, I've still got most of my Wells saved from using the Clarity. You know, I only have a 10-second overlap on the Clarity, big deal. I had to use the rest of my Wells healing up my Hunts, and I'm gonna go again. You can see at this Ancient of Wars at his base, I've got more Hunts rallied up, which is, I mean, essentially, one of the really good things you can do against human, one of the things you should do against human, just overall, especially when they're fast expanding, is do Hunt pressure, because that is extremely damaging, because they don't have quick rifles, they don't have quick casters, and you have Hunts just about as fast as you would normally have them. So it's really useful. And however much damage you can deal limits the amount of breakers and casters and other crap he has when you have bears. So if you can, you know, maximize the usefulness of your bears, that's just better for you. So he's got this tower up, and I'm like, that's in balance. But I'm gonna focus on the tower and use FOK to hurt the workers. But before I do that, I'm like, crap, his army's here. Fine, F this. So I'm getting one of my Hunts pretty much owned. He actually got a good surround on it, so he's gonna kill that. But I'm trading a Hunt for a rifle, and that's fine with me. So I'm like, whatever, let's go. So I pull back the Hunt a little bit, make sure it's not getting killed. He's focusing on a different one of my Hunts, so I'm gonna try to run that away. I do that right here, but it might die, I'm not sure. No, I deselect it, then press Control 1. Yeah, that's one of the things you do. If you want to get a unit out of the way and continue fighting, you can run your whole army back, then Shift-click the thing, the injured unit, and then Control 1 to reset the control group. Just with that unit not there anymore, and that works pretty well. Now I've got this Keeper running around. He goes right through the middle, and just, I guess, or whatever. Or he ran through the top, I guess, and then ran down. Unfortunately, he's gonna get rid of this Hunt right here, which is too bad. I got blocked a little by a foot. But I'm like, gonna do as much damage as I can, gonna try to save my Warden. I run up to the top.